Hey guys, Uncommon Ramen here, and as promised, for this TCG Tuesday, we're going to be taking a look at Modern Horizons 2. I have here a set booster box for Modern Horizons 2. So let's see if we can't get any good hits in here. Obviously, one of the biggest hits, or some of the biggest hits you're going to find in here, are going to be the enemy color fetch lands. But obviously, the cards like Grief, Solitude, cards like that are going to be big hits as well. Ragavan is absolutely the most expensive card in any version, the borderless or the just regular border. But there are a ton of really great hits in here. There are chances to get Cobble Coffers as well as quite a few other really good things. So we're just going to open into this guy. Let's open up this box. Let's get this shrink wrap off. Okay, shrink wrap removed. We're just gonna pull this open. Get rid of this guy. Pull aside our packs. All right. It's too bad they didn't do any box stoppers for this, but I kind of understand why. Would have been nice to have the, like, what was it, Double Masters that did box stoppers? And some of those box stoppers are stupid expensive. But let's jump in, right? Set boosters have 12 cards in them, and there is an opportunity that you will get a set card, or a list card in the back of these boosters. Actually, these ones look like they're the Japanese boosters, so these might be seated differently. But, needless to say, there's a chance for a list card in here, which is just going to be a card from Magic's history. And typically, the cards that you get in that slot aren't usually great big hits, but that's not always the case. There's some pretty good list cards out there. So these are the front cards are going to be our art cards, and the very first pack I pulled was one of the embossed foil signature cards. So that's pretty cool. That's a good start. All right, we're gonna run through. Well, you know, there's some good hits in the commons and uncommons as well, so we'll just kind of go through these, and if I see anything, I will freak out about it. We got Endurance. Okay, there you go. Right off the bat, we got value, because these cards right here are some of the most expensive cards in the set, right up there with the fetch lands. And in some cases, I think it was Solitude, specifically the white one, is more expensive than most of the fetch lands. So, like, right off the bat, we got ourselves a nice little mythic here, in the form of Endurance. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my piles here. We'll put this off to the side. And Scalding Tarn. Scalding Tarn is one of the more expensive fetch lands in this set as well. So there you go again. And you'll notice that there was 2 rares in this. That's not always going to be the case. I believe there's a chance to get up to 4 rares in a set booster pack. We were lucky. We got ourselves not only Endurance, but we got Scalding Tarn. This particular booster pack was fire. Behind that, we got ourselves a Flame Rift. And then the last card in the pack is going to be a Kitchen Imp, followed by a token. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Well, I don't know how they... I guess this is the Showcase border slot. And then behind that is going to be your foil. We got our Tavern Scoundrel, and then our Showcase slot, we have the Kitchen Imp. Which begs to differ, or begs to what this card is supposed to be, what slot this card is taking up. Unless this is like the lottery slot? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. And then, of course, the token at the back, which is a bird. So the set is obviously geared and tuned towards Modern. By default, it is called Modern Masters. But truth be told, this set is so good for Commander. And it's one of those where I would say I would pick this set even over Commander Legends as far as like really good hits, because again, whereas Commander Legends has the enemy colored crowd lands, this one has the fetch lands. So if you don't have a lot of fetch lands to begin with, it's a good way to get some fetch lands. Sorry about that. I pulled 2 cards off. Got our art card, which is that Draco Scion or whatever. Foundry Helix. Okay, we got a Marsh Flats right there. Another fetch land, enemy color, very good value. Super excited about these. It does not matter which border you get. This is obviously the new border. The old border is going to be a little bit more expensive for whatever reason, despite the fact that it's not actually from the original set that it was printed in. They still, for whatever reason, end up being a little bit more expensive. But fetch lands are fetch lands. I'll take them in any form. Behind that, we have Priest of Fell Rites. And behind that, we have Sterling Grove. Very nice hit. Sterling Grove didn't used to be rare, but it acts on its own as a tutor, and if you don't use it as a tutor, it is also a protection spell for your other enchantments. And there's something very powerful about that, that I think they just undervalued when they first printed it. If I remember correctly, the very first printing for this was in the Invasion block, and actually now that I see the symbol in the back there, yeah, it was from Invasion. And it was printed as an uncommon, and it was definitely deserving of way more than that. Behind that, we have an old bordered Marble Gargoyle. And we have a Zurin Orb, which is a decent card in our foil slot. And then finally, we have a list card, which is Reality Shift. Very nice. Reality Shift is another really great card. If you're playing blue, you're going to be playing Pongify, the Ravens, the Raven card that turns a creature into a Raven. And you're also probably going to be playing Reality Shift because it's just a really good way to get rid of one of those big threats and possibly have it whiff for the opponent. Next up, so far I'm pretty happy about the value. I've pulled a fetch land in both my packs. We're only 2 packs deep, however, and that luck could go very sideways very fast. Really quickly, we'll look at the back here. We have potentially a list card. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a list card. Next up, we have our art card here. I'm growing to appreciate the art cards a lot more. They actually are really nifty art pieces. I use them actually as dividers in my collection. You sleeve it up and then you throw it in there as a nice little divider, and it's something that's a little bit more, I guess, artsy than just having a random trash card or a land, which is what I typically do. We have a Timeless Warden here, which Timeless Warden is supposed to be a different version of I'm sorry, Timeless Witness, not Timeless Warden. A different version of Eternal Witness, which has Eternalize. When Timeless Witness enters the battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Has roughly the same ability, but it has the Eternalize ability. Then we have Search the Premises, followed by Goblin Bombardment. This card used to be very expensive. It had only ever seen one printing at the time, which was in Tempest, and it is a very good card, but again, because it had only seen one printing at that particular time in Tempest, the card itself was extremely expensive. And now that we have another printing of it here in Modern Horizons, the card has dropped significantly in price, and that's not an underestimation. I believe when I was looking at these way back when I was trying to rebuild an old deck, these were like $40 a piece. Now they're like $1 something a piece. So interesting history. We got ourselves a Glimmer Baron, followed by a Knighted Myrrh in the foil slot. Now remember, again, the back card here is a list card, so we have ourselves an Enclave Cryptologist. Very nice. Nothing super special there. Like I said, a lot of the time when you get list cards, they're not going to be wowy, but they're still worth it's still cool to get them. It's still very nice, nostalgic at least, to see some of these cards. Dakon in his Planeswalker form, which I actually was not aware that Dakon had become a Planeswalker. I wonder if that was just for flavor. Because then I wonder about some of the other characters, big characters in Magic history that weren't Planeswalkers that I feel like were more powerful, but then again, Dakon was pretty powerful. Although I attribute most of that to his blade. Really quickly, we have a token in the back, so we're not going to have to worry about list there. Monoskellion, answer to the Triskelion. Okay, we got a Nettlecyst. Nettlecyst, followed by a Titania, Protector of Argoth. This one's up there in price. It's not in the most expensive, but it's a really good card. Just keep moving on there. We got an old bordered Terminal Agony, which is kind of like a Madness version of Terminate. They're just better cards to play these days. In our foil slot, we have Bannerhide Cruciak. Sure, if you say so. And we have our little list card thing, which just tells us about Winchester Draft, as if that's a special thing. Moving on. Again, some neat art. An old land. We got Goblin Anarchomancer. Just see if I have... Well, Abundant Harvest is alright. Chatterstorm. If you're running the squirrels. Draykeeper and Chatterstorm? Please. Violent Tumor. Archfiend of Sorrows. Grist! The Hunger Tide. This is... I think... It is either the highest value Planeswalker or the second highest value Planeswalker. This particular art of him is not the highest value of him, but still, Grist the Hunger Tide. You'd play him in an insect deck. Otherwise, he's kind of not useful. But anyway, Grist the Hunger Tide. Followed by Cursed Totem, which is very nice. It's a very old card from Mirage, as you can see. Activated abilities on creatures can't be activated. To me, that is actually phenomenal, especially for certain decks, but, you know. We got Blazing Rootwalla as our old bordered card, and then in our foil slot, we have World Weary. We have another token. A Timeless Witness token in the Eternalize form. That's pretty cool. I didn't think they would make a token for us, so that's actually very cool. Alright, next up. I'm really excited about this set. I know that this set released some time ago, and there's been many other cards that have released since then. But to be honest with you, the set was just a really solid set. It had some really great cards in it, and I've just been super excited about it. Alright, we have ourselves a mountain. Tormod's Crypt Keeper. His Crypt Keeper didn't do a good job, because last I had checked, Tormod's Crypt was empty when they found it. Fractured Sanity. I just recently built an Umbrus Fear Manifest deck, and this was definitely one of the cards that I used in it. As far as value is concerned, this is not a valuable card. It's very cheap. Next up we have Sea Drake. Followed by Old Bordered Step Through. And we have a Foul Watcher in the foil slot. I was thinking about using this in there as well, but I had a hard time finding some good synergy with it. And then, oh, very nice. Okay, so in our list slot, which I had forgotten to check for, Very nice. We got ourselves a Fire Main Angel from the first Ravnica set. And honestly, the art is incredible. See, it's 5 for a flying first strike, 4/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, Fire Main Angel. If Fire Main Angel is in your graveyard, you may... Or in play, you may gain 1 life. Oh, okay. That's interesting. 6, 2 red, and 2 white. Return Fire Main Angel from your graveyard to play. Play this only during your upkeep. I mean, it's not great, but it's a very cool list card. I'm excited about that one. Like I said, you don't really get a lot in the way of good hits in the list slot, and while I'm not going to say that that's a super high hit, it was definitely better than some of the uncommons and commons that I've pulled in the past. Okay. It's a token on the back. A Timeless Dragon. Ooh, interesting. We have some just more beautiful art. In the case of this one, it's Veilun of the Sea and Sky. So it's just beautiful art. Plains. Some of these indestructible dual lands, which are really interesting, that are also artifact lands. Like we needed more artifact lands. Let's just really help the affinity decks get out of hand. Nested Shambler. I need to put that aside because I need one of those. Funny enough. Young Necromancer, followed by Search the Premises in its alternative border, aka showcase border. Really big fan of the showcase border on these. I love the idea that it was just like colored in. We're out of the outline over here for the gold color. Search the Premises. Very cool. Followed by Zurin Orb. Chatterstorm in the old border. And in our foil slot, we have Rift Sower. And then our token was the Timeless Dragon. I would like to get a Verdant... What is it? Verdant Catacombs and a Windswept Heath. I think those are the only 2 things that I'm really looking for. But, you know, I'm not going to prey on anything here. What I get is what I get. The commons and uncommons, I'm not, like, horribly impressed with. We got Out of Time. Next up, we have Sithis, Harvest's Hand. This is a phenomenal card, and honestly, works hand in hand with Sterling Grove. This is something that I would definitely build a green-white commander enchantment deck with. Maybe that'll happen. We got a Shardless Agent. So we have 3 rares so far. Shardless Agent. Very nice. Followed by Arcus Acolyte in the showcase border. And a Scalding Tarn in the foil. If only it had been a alternative border. The old border for this in foil would have been such a hit. But I'll take it. Another Scalding Tarn. And then our token. Sorry, I bumped the camera there, guys. Another bird token. I'm really looking for squirrel tokens. I built a squirrel commander, and it'd be nice to... Oh, there you go. My wishes have been answered. A squirrel token. Okay, we have ourselves a signed Scurry Oak. Beautiful. Let's keep moving through. Flourishing Strike. Bottle Gnomes, that's old. That hasn't been reprinted since Tempest, I think. Could be wrong on that. Loathsome. Graceful Restoration. Glorious Enforcer. Oof! Oh! Oh! That is a good hit. Archon of Cruelty is definitely up there in price. I believe over $10, especially in the showcase border. Definitely a good hit. Followed by Thought Monitor. Okay, very nice. Affinity for artifacts, flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Can't go wrong with that, because you can potentially pay just 1 blue to draw 2 cards and get a 2/2 flying body. Patriarch's Bidding. Very nice. So we got 3 rares in this one as well. That was phenomenal. Phantasmal Dreadmaw, which is just, I want to say this is a humor piece. And then in our foil, we have Dark Moss Bridge. I got a little excited there. I saw the land frame, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I get a foil fetch land again? But alas, was not. But again, not a big deal. Pretty happy with what I've pulled so far. Go ahead and put those up there. What do we have next? One of the only reasons that I think I would ever push these set boosters, and don't get me wrong, the set boosters are definitely, in the earlier stage, they were definitely better than buying draft boosters, because you were almost guaranteed to get, on average, about 2 rares per, but they've changed them a little bit, and their output has been a lot less. But the list card is a big part of that, because there are chances that you will get some really phenomenal list cards. I have pulled a Vampiric Tutor and a Jet Medallion specifically from the list. But you can also get a chance to pull Cavern of Souls, which is one that has eluded me for a while, but a couple of my friends have done so. And that card alone is just a very expensive card. Okay, we have a non-signed version of that. Let's get through these. We have Harmonic Prodigy. Got a Hunting Pack, which goes well with the token in here. We'll just go ahead and show that off. That is the token that it creates. We have a Faithless Salvaging in the showcase border. And then in our foil slot, we have Timeless Witness. Very nice. We had 2 packs in a row that had over 2 rares in them. But that usually typically means you're going to make that up by having a couple of really not so great pulls in your packs afterward. A Foil Swamp. This one is actually foil. Ethereum Spinner. Scour the Desert. We got Karth the Lion. Karth the Lion. I just recently played a friend who is using Karth the Lion as a commander, and it was a brutal deck. Mishra's Factory. I will never say no to that. Hasn't been printed since... Well, actually, I don't know. Could have been printed before then, but this was from Antiquities. Next up, we have Glimmer Baron, followed by Hell Mongrel, and our token, which is a squirrel. Okay, we got a list card here, so that's going to be exciting. Okay, we got Chef's Kiss, a Foil Forest, Rift Sower, Scurry Oak, Ragavan. Okay, all right, there you go. This is the most expensive card in the set. Hands down, the most expensive card in the set. In its borderless version, it is, I want to say, close to 100, if not over $100. And obviously, in its foil version, it is outrageously expensive. This, of course, is just the normal version, but still, this is, I want to say, close to $80. This is a very sought-after card. Excellent pull. Absolute most expensive card in the set. We got an Extruder. Road to Ruin. Storm God's Oracle. I think that's our foil, so the next one is a... Oh, I forgot it was a list. How could I forget that? It's a Grim Harvest. It's a common, but still. Really cool art. Yeah, there you go. Grim Harvest. I am so happy to pull that Ragavan. I don't even know what I'd use it in, but just for the sake of trade fodder, that is some value right there. Okay, we got ourselves some good art. Thorax Canticle. Healer's Flock. Necrogoyf. I like Necrogoyf. Very cool card. Followed by Angelic Curator from Saga. Legacy, my bad, from Legacy. Oh no, the cards have gotten away from me. Followed by a Step Through, Old Border, and then finally our foil slot is going to be a Disciple of the Sun, and this one is just a token, so we're just going to move on from there. Got another token here. Squirrel Sovereign, very nice. Ravenous Squirrel. We have Piru the Volatile. That's an hit. Behind that we have Nevinrel's Disc, which is also meh. A Showcase Abundant Harvest. And in our foil slot we have Sanctuary Raptor. And then our token is a Thopter. Okay, we have a token on the back, so not a list. Foil, not only is it foil island, it's one of my favorite arts for islands. This was from the Urza Saga block, and I loved the islands from that block. Lose Focus, Phantasmal Dreadmaw, Urban Daggertooth. Okay, we have Rishadan Dockhand, which is just the creature version of Rishadan Port. We have Seal of Removal. The seals, honestly, were some of my favorite enchantments. World Weary. Usuri Fortune's Flame. Whenever Usuri Fortune's Flame attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. Is this... I feel like this card is going to be in Heads I Win, Tails You Lose, that Secret Lair, which I will be showcasing because I did purchase it, and when I get it, I will definitely do a video for it. I feel like this guy's got to be in it. It only makes sense. Usuri Fortune's Flame, it was in our foil slot. Got 2 Scalding Tarns in this box, not bad. Got Sarah's Emissary. Followed by an Island. Bone Shards. Squirrel Sanctuary, Underworld Hermit. Lots of squirrel stuff, and I'm super excited for that. Gaia's Will in our rare slot. Followed by Gorilla Shaman. A Blacksmith Skill in the Old Border. And then our foil slot, we have Echoing Return. And a Crab token. Some beautiful art. Glimpse of Tomorrow. Okay, and that is followed by a Chance Encounter, which I'm pretty sure is also in that Heads I Win, Tails I Lose, or You Lose deck. We have Rakdos Headliner in our showcase border. And then in our foil slot, we have Abundant Harvest. And a Thopter token. Next up, some good art. We got Sanctifier and Vec, followed by Soul Snare. Sacrifice Soul Snare, exile target creature that's attacking you and or a planeswalker you control. That's interesting. Jade Avenger in our showcase slot, and then Blacksmith Skill in our foil, and our token is a bird. We got a list card. Oh, I think I just spoiled it. It's a white card. I didn't actually see it, so I'll be surprised, but y'all probably saw it. What is that? Captured by... Oh, interesting. Okay, we got Thrasta Tempest's Roar. A big dinosaur. A big mythic dinosaur. It's actually only a 7/7. It costs 3 less for each other spell you cast this turn. Okay, so definitely a spells deck type of thing. Trample Haste, Trample over Planeswalkers. Wow. Hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn. Oof. That could be scary in an aggressive deck. Got ourselves some Patchwork Gnomes. Followed by Nested Shambler and an Old Border. I think I'm going to take that guy over the other one. And then a foil Nested Shambler and an Old Border. I think I'm going to take that over the Nested Shambler and the Old Border. And then we have Celestial Ancient in our list slot. I may have spoiled that one there, but whenever you play an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That is going to be a really great card in a enchantment heavy deck. So probably good with Sithis. Okay, we have a token, so we're not going to worry about the list there. Okay, some really beautiful art. Soul Talisman. This is the suspend version of Soul Ring. Awkwardly, it's not nearly as good, obviously, because it suspends for 3. So even if you're paying the 1, you still have to wait 3 turns before it onlines, and that's just not good. It's just not good. Okay, in the back of that, we have Karmic Guide. Very nice. And then next up, we have ourselves a Marble Gargoyle, again, in the Old Border. And then finally, in our foil slot, we have Bone Shards. I think after this, what do I have, like 10? 9 or 10 more packs? Give me a Cobble Coffers, folks. Just 1 Cobble Coffers. Scurry Oaks art. Plains. Road to Ruin. Strike It Rich. Rise and Shine. Followed by Flame Rift. Aeromoeba. And Mystic Redaction. And the list card is Relearn from Weatherlight. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if that's any good, though. I mean, it has to be, right? I guess that's not true. It's probably good. I wouldn't. I don't play blue very often. Okay. More of those indestructible lands. You get Mirari's Wake, by the way, in this set. We got Dam. Dam, by itself destroys a creature, but if you pay the overload cost, it is a Wrath of God. Which I thought was weird because they could have just done 2 and 2 black and made it Dam or Damnation, but, you know, is what it is. We got Seal of Cleansing, Tide Shaper, and then in our foil slot we have Slag Wood Bridge. And that is the second time I saw the land border and I was freaking out. And then our token is a Thopter. We're getting on the last couple of packs here. 3 fetch lands. Let's try and get one more, you know? Let's try and get one more out of this. Yeah. Kitchen Imp, Tragic Fall, Abiding Grace, Dragon's Rage. What is this? Fast and Furious, followed by Void Mirror. Okay, Void Mirror is pretty decent. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So it's Artifact Hate. Followed by a Verdant Catacombs. There we go. I called one more fetch land, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. You know, if I don't get the Windswept Heath, it is what it is. The Verdant Catacombs is really what I wanted. We got ourselves a Riptide Laboratory right after that. Also rare, very cool. And then, what is this? Our foil? No. Old Border. Our foil's right behind it. Okay. Ornithopter of Paradise, which is just a very bad Birds of Paradise. We got a Fodder Tosser. Very nice. And then our Squirrel token. Heck yeah. I think Verdant Catacombs is like $27 right now. It's just really crazy how expensive it is. Okay, we have some art for Suspend, a Swamp. Okay, we got Lonus Cryptozoologist. Did I get a list, by the way? No, that's a token. Lonus Cryptozoologist. The Snake Elf Scout. Yeesh. Followed by Bloodbraid Marauder. Seal of Removal. Gargadon. And in a foil slot, it is historic. This has got to be Urza's Saga. It is Urza's freaking Saga. This is up there in price as well. Has to be in the $20, maybe $30 range, especially in the showcase border like this. Absolutely beautiful card. Love it. Put that guy right there. And then our token slot, we have ourselves some food. I mean, the only way this box could get better is a cobble coffers at this point. And that's so far-fetched. I really don't. I got everything I wanted out of this box, aside from the Windswept Heath, and that it's like, it's not a big deal to me. That's incredible. I'm super excited about this box. I even pulled an Urza Saga, and to be honest with you, I was not expecting that, so that's incredible. All right, let's jump through here. Got ourselves what here? A Said and Done, followed by Sarah's Emissary. Beautiful mythic flying. As it enters the battlefield, choose a card type. You and creatures you control have protection from the chosen card type. Not bad. Not bad. It's not Iona, but, you know. Got ourselves a Milliken. A Floodhound in the showcase border. And in our foil slot, we have Urban Daggertooth. Okay, we have... This is our 5th to last. So after this, we're going to have 4 more packs, and that is it. And I am not even in the least amount disappointed. If you've watched my unboxings before on products, sealed products specifically, it's a lot of disappointment throughout the course of the video. This is definitely the opposite of that. Got ourselves a token on the back. Definitely, this was an incredible experience. Chatterstorm. Beautiful forests from... shoot, is that invasion? Go with invasion. All right. Unmarked Grave. Search your library for a non-legendary creature. Put that card into the graveyard, then shuffle. That's pretty cool. It's not entombed, but... Ooh, we got ourselves a Diamond Lion. Yavimaya Elder. Terminal Agony. And a Flame Tongue Yearling. If you played during the Flame Tongue Kavu days, you remember how much of a headache those things are. So I'll take a Yearling over a Kavu. I mean, it is a Kavu, but it's just not the same. It's a weaker version, I think. Yeah, it's a weaker version. Okay, we have a food token. 3 packs after this one. Timeless Dragon. No way. Yeah, Timeless Dragon. It just reminds me of that white dragon that reoccurs. Arid freaking Mesa. No freaking way. I got exactly the 2 fetch lands that I really wanted to pull from here. Verdant Catacombs and Arid Mesa. On top of that, I also pulled Marsh Flats and Scalding Tarn. The only other one that I didn't get was the blue-green one, I think. Yeah, blue-green, which I don't remember what it's called. Misty Rainforest. I didn't pull a Misty Rainforest. And I'm not going to complain, because holy cow. Got ourselves a Greed, which I think is a great card. Followed by a Brainstone. And in our foil slot, a Liquimetal Torque. And then our token is food. Okay, we are down to the last 3 packs, folks. These are the last 3 packs. Oh, if the gods of this box are paying attention, give me that Cobble Coffers. Not a list card. Our artwork here is going to be for Karth the Lion. We got Chef's Kiss. Followed by Chainer Nightmare Adept. Now, unfortunately, Chainer Nightmare Adept is black-red, whereas the Umbris deck is black-blue, so I could not run this version of Chainer. I did consider for a while running the mono-black version from Odyssey, or I think it was Torment, actually, but unfortunately it just didn't make the cut because I was afraid if it died, it would take all my nightmares with it, so just not as good. Late to Dinner Showcase artwork. We got Revolutionist in our foil slot, and then we have our Zombie Army in our tokens. All right, the second to last pack. And honestly, I can't imagine what could be in this pack that would make me drop my jaw, but it is not a list card. We got ourselves Sword of Hearth and Home, which also would be a great hit now that I think about it. Sword of Hearth and Home would be great. That's a lot of uncommons at the very beginning. Thought Monitor in the showcase. If I ever build Affinity, this is definitely going to be on my list. We got Nykthos Paragon. Whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature, on each creature you control. Oh, you know what I could get? If I could pull... What was that white one that lets you draw cards when your opponent... Oh, Counterspell. Very nice. Bone Shards. And then a Tangle Pool. That white card that allows you to draw cards whenever your opponents play a second spell per turn. Totally lost in translation. Interesting. Okay, last pack. So, yeah. What was it, Esper Sentinel? Yeah, let's see if we can pull an Esper Sentinel. That would be an interesting pull. I don't know what the likelihood is on that, but swamp. Sylvan Anthem, very nice. This was something I wanted to put on my squirrel deck, so that's going to be great. Quirion Ranger. Galvanic Relay. Loathsome Curator. And the final list card, which is a Goblin Assassin. All right, there you go. So that was my box opening for Modern Horizons 2, and I think aside from the Cobble Coffers and the Esper Sentinel, which again, they're fringe hits, I pretty much pulled exactly what I wanted to pull out of that. I got the Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa. We still managed to pull 5 in total enemy-colored fetch lands. I got the Urza Saga in foil, mind you. Foil Showcase, no less. I'm just that one is just such a great hit. Some really interesting list cards. Nothing that was a big hit, but I'm really excited for the list cards that we got here. We got Ragavan, the single-handed most expensive card in this set. Arcana Cruelty, another great hit. Sithis. Cursed Totem, Grist, Titania. Sterling Grove, Endurance. Yeah, I would say pretty dang good pulls there. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and leave those down below. I am going to ask that you keep it classy, folks. I will be removing any negative comments because they're just downright not necessary. And what was I going to say? Oh, check me out on my Patreon. Patreon.com/uncommonramen. I do all this in my free time, and any amount of support would really help me bring more of this quality, or more of this content to you guys more often. So hit me up over there. And of course, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.